Hello and welcome to The Nuance. I am your host, if people still say that, if people ever said that. I honestly have no idea. I am brand new to this whole podcasting thing. My name is John Knoll. I'm a full-time online health and fitness coach and have been so for the greater part of the last 5 years. And I know what you're thinking. Not another health and fitness page repeating the same generic, unhelpful advice over and over and over again. And I promise you, this is not going to be that. This is going to be different. We are going to step outside of the echo chamber that is the health and fitness space on social media these days, where if you're hearing something, if you're seeing something, chances are unfortunately high. It's BS. It's nonsense. It's misleading. And if it's not, it's very likely coming from somebody who knows that in order to actually help you, they would actually need to coach you. They would need more information from you. And because they can't give that, what they can give you and what you're going to hear is something along the lines of, it depends. Well, could be this, but it's nuanced. And what I want to do is actually discuss just that. I want to get into the weeds and talk about the nuance as it pertains to you and your goals regarding your health and fitness. I want to talk about your struggles. I want to talk about your challenges and how we can adjust your lifestyle, your habits, and your behaviors to set you up for success long-term in a sustainable way without the paywall that is health and fitness coaching. Because let's be honest, having a coach at this day and age is a luxury that is becoming increasingly challenging to afford. And so if you are here because you follow me on Instagram at Coach John Knoll, welcome. It's great to have you. If you found this page because you were just scrolling your favorite podcast platform, it is nice to meet you. Regardless, if you know me or not, what I want to do today to set the stage for these future conversations that we're going to have, because make no mistake, this page is not going to just be me rambling about my opinions, my strategies, my recommendations. It's going to be me having real, raw, unscripted conversations with you as if you were signing up to work with me one-on-one as a health and fitness client. It's going to be basically a consult call where we talk about your goals, your challenges, and what I would suggest doing within my scope, of course, to make headway towards those goals. And so before we get into that, before I have any of you live on this show with me, I want you to know a little bit more about who you're talking to. I want you to know a little bit more about my background, who I am, how I got to where I am today. And so let's take it back to my education as a whole, because my path to this place is a little bit unique, a little bit different than most people who went to school for kinesiology, exercise science, so on and so forth. I went to school not having a dang clue what I wanted to do or where I was going to be in the next 5 or 10 years. I had a very easy time in school, starting through high school, to be quite honest with you. I got really good grades, all A's, without trying necessarily too hard in any of my classes, but I always leaned a little bit more towards mathematics. I was always good with numbers. And so when I went to school, I went to a small college outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania called Robert Morris University, and was just an either went undecided, undeclared, or I was just a generic business major. The courses that everybody had to take took the what are they just called, prerequisite classes, all of the regular sociology, history, basic math, so on and so forth, except for the ones that I tested out of. And a couple of years in, there were a couple of people in the fraternity that I joined that were talking about this trajectory, this career, this degree at our school that you could get called actuarial science, leading to the actual career being an actuary. And the discussion was about how difficult these exams were that you have to take to become credentialed to become an actuary, because it's not just get a degree, get a job. Once you get the job, you have to continue educating yourself, continue qualifying yourself to actually advance in the field and pass more and more exams. And they have like a 30% pass rate or something like that. They're very hard. They're very challenging. And that caught my eye. That caught my attention. And I said, I'm a really smart guy. I've never had trouble in school. I can study and pass any exam. I'm really good at math. And if you don't know what the actuarial field is, as I didn't either before I heard about it in these conversations, it's essentially advanced mathematics. It is predictive modeling. Some of the descriptions of the exams that you have to pass that I had to look up and go back and remind myself of what they were. I ended up passing 5 of them when I was in school and soon out of it. but the ones that I passed were probability, financial mathematics, models for financial economics, models for life contingencies, and construction and evaluation of actuarial models. And I know that that doesn't tell you all that much, but essentially it is a role that is, or it is a job rather, a career that is in the insurance field or the consulting field. And in insurance, basically you're going to be helping companies set premiums based off of the possibility that you're going to have to pay out on those policies, right? You're predicting the likelihood that somebody either gets sick, gets in an accident, so on and so forth. And so you're categorizing them based off of that risk and then applying a premium to it. Or in the consulting field, you would work for a company's pension plan to essentially predict how much money you're going to have to pay out year after year, how much you have to have on hand to save and account for people retiring, so on and so forth. A lot of predictive modeling based off of the financial forecast and also people's health forecast, but it's all data, it's all numbers, right? So I got into that field because people told me these exams are impossible to pass, and I said, okay, bet. Let me see how hard they actually are. And I passed all of them first try, not to brag, except for one. I did actually fail one of them and had to retake it. But again, the pass rate's like 30 to 40% or something like that. So really, really good at math. I got a job right out of college, graduating magna cum laude. I actually got 1B in college, which was a course about, I don't even remember which one it was now, one of the advanced statistical modeling 3, I think, was the one that I got a B in. So I graduated with a 3.975. And got a job immediately at a life insurance company outside of Philadelphia. And to be quite honest with you, I actually probably to this day would still be working for that company, Penn Mutual. I would probably be a credentialed actuary at this point because that was close to 10 years ago. And I was halfway through the process at that point. I had passed 5 out of, I think, 9 or 10 exams. And so I probably would be a fellowship of the Society of Actuaries at this point, working for that company because I really did love it. I did enjoy that company. It was a great environment, great community efforts, and I liked my team. I liked my manager. The only reason that ended up ending was because the condo that I was renting and living in, it was a 4-unit building, and the one above me caught fire one night, and actually the person who lived up there didn't end up surviving, and I had to move out. And so that was my first time moving away from home. Really stressful, big, impactful, traumatic event. Ended up moving back to the Pittsburgh area, and that is what started this cascade of events that led me to step away from that field, because those jobs that I had after the fact were horrible, miserable, hated every single day going to the office, dreaded having to wake up to go to work the next day, and decided very quickly after that that this was not what I was going to do for the rest of my life, that I was not going to sit behind a computer screen and fill out these Excel spreadsheets, fill out these predictive modeling forecasts, so on and so forth. Kind of funny looking back now. I mean, I still sit in front of a computer screen for my job, but that is what led me to the decision that I am taking a big detour here, and I am going to change the path of my life as far as my career goes. And so for a couple of years, I just found odd and end ways to support myself with bartending and serving tables, but also whilst doing so, got certified as a personal trainer and started building up my clientele for in-person training on the gym floor. And I got to a place where I was actually pretty comfortable, pretty confident, enough so that I was able to start to I transitioned into doing that full-time. I was a full-time personal trainer in person on the gym floor. No more bartending, no more serving. And then 2020 happened. And then COVID and quarantine shut everything down, shut gyms down for a period of time. And that was the segue into getting to coaching online, essentially, to becoming a full-time online health and fitness coach, as opposed to just a personal trainer. And so since then, over the years since then, over the past 4 or 5 years, I have been doing that full-time, and I've racked up a decent amount of just certifications, I guess, that would give me the quote unquote qualifications to do what I do. Running through that, I am a certified pre and postnatal coach. I am a certified personal trainer from 2 different organizations, certified health coach through ISSA, also certified health mindset coaching through HMCC, certified weight management specialist, nutritionist, certified online coach, certified glute specialist. And I believe there's one more here, just the master trainer certification, because I have so many of those additional certifications on top of the personal training. But if you know me, you know that I will always be the type of person that says that these certifications, these courses, these credentials really don't mean all that much. And what I have found is that person to person work is where I have thrived the most. And I have been people have suggested that I start a podcast over the years, because the way that my health and fitness coaching, my one-on-one coaching works, is our communication weekly for our weekly check-ins is done via voice memo, sometimes phone calls, sometimes video as well. But the standard procedure is voice memo, where I am doing what I'm doing here. I am sitting and I am just speaking. I am giving feedback based off of people's struggles, based off of people's wins. So giving encouragement, giving tangible strategies in terms of how do we solidify new behaviors? How do we put a stop to old behaviors, past habits, so on and so forth. And that has been received really, really well by a lot of people. I feel like I do a good job at transitioning my voice and my tone to whatever it needs to be for whomever needs it, if you know what I mean. I think that that has been my gift. That has been my blessing. That is why I enjoyed working one-on-one on the gym floor with people so much, because I actually got to interact with them. And over the course of this, coaching experience that I've had, I've also built up a decent following. I don't know what people consider large followings anymore on social media, but I have over 100,000 followers on Instagram. And I've gotten away from enjoying that platform at this point, given that, like I said, it's been an echo chamber of the same exact thing, the same exact content, the same exact generic advice over and over and over again that doesn't actually help people, that is more noise and confusion than anything else. And so I want to take my experience, I want to take my skill set, I want to take my education, and I want to take what I do and actually use it for good, and do so on a broader scale, as opposed to the 30 to 50 clients that I work with at any given time, which don't get me wrong, I love doing. And that is, if I didn't, and if that wasn't fruitful for me and the people that I work with, I wouldn't be doing it. But again, I just think that there are ways that I can give more and be more resourceful, be a resource to more people, and have more people benefit if we just have these live conversations here. So that is me. That is who I am from kind of like a professional standpoint. From a personal standpoint, I am also a professional natural bodybuilder, retired potentially at this point. I don't compete anymore. When I did, it was in the men's physique category. I won a couple of different pro shows across a couple of different natural organizations, but it's been a couple of years since I've competed, and I am now a father of a 1-year-old. And so most of my life, most of my day consists of health and fitness coaching and taking care of my daughter. The years up to this, it was health and fitness coaching and creating content on Instagram. But again, I don't have the fire and the passion for that anymore. I don't want to be a part of that echo chamber, giving the same exact unhelpful noise, or putting the same unhelpful noise out there. I want to actually make a difference. And so if you are somebody who can relate to this, that you think that you can connect to me or with me one-on-one, and you think that I can actually have an impact on your habits, your behaviors, your mindsets, your beliefs, the way that you talk about yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you view your body, the way that you view food, the way that you view exercise, let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. I would love to have you on. If you follow me on Instagram, I've already put up a couple of links for you to just send me your name and your email, where I will periodically send out links to book calls. And from here on out, that's what this page is going to be. It's going to be live discussions where we're going to get into the weeds. We're going to discuss the nuance, and we're going to make a meaningful difference in a real way. And just as a reminder, as you are out there scrolling, as you are on social media, whether it be Instagram, whether it be podcasts, when you are on, or when you are in the health and fitness space, remember that no matter what anybody says, no matter who they are, where it is coming from, there are no right answers. There is only nuance. I'm John Knoll. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.